This is how I do the door springs on Fords. I don't pretend to tell you that this is the only way to do it or necessarily the right way to do it, but this is how I do it. So you put the spring in a vise and you close it down as tight as possible, but enough that you can still get zip ties in between the outer coils. 3 is a good number. It's probably going to take 4 because these zip ties are going to want to walk around the spring when you release tension on it. It's going to be your only problem. So, you might have to put in a bunch, whatever, but get those in and clamp down that when you remove it, this one's actually loosened up. You can see that there's a little bit of a gap between the coils, and it should be sufficient to get it in. Now on your lower hinge, make sure that you have this lever up into the gap here. Sometimes these things will want to hit down lower. They got to fit in this area right here where you see this one. And also make sure that this conical part is around the pivot. And then the spring goes right in here on this guy. And get your assortment of tools ready. You want a pry bar, a hammer of some sort to give it a couple of whacks. It can be a soft blow hammer, and something to cut the zip ties with. Insert the spring in over the little nipple there on the bottom hinge pivot. Okay, it's in there. So, this is a two-handed operation, which is why I couldn't video it, but you want to get your pry bar in here and go on this side of the spring, and then you push it this way. Get it in there, and the key is to get it in there as straight as you can. That's the hard part. And you might find that these zip ties keep wanting to walk, but if you can push this spring in with the pry bar, and then you can whack it down with the hammer once you get it in just far enough while holding tension on it with the pry bar, and then slip over the head of that bolt. Now, there's a good chance you're going to scratch up your car in the process. My car's not restored, so I don't really care, but if your car's already been painted, you're going to want to cover this with something. Use a thin piece of plywood or what have you there. And then of course, you're going to have to repaint the spring once it's in there because the paint's going to chip off. That's the home mechanic way of doing this. There are other ways, and there are special tools. The special tool did not work for me. It's made for GM springs, and you don't have access in here to get the tool in and out, honestly. So this is the way I've found to do it. It's not fun. The more you do, the easier it gets. Hopefully that was helpful. If it worked for you, let me know. Thanks for watching.